Well, mahalo as we look at OKO Knife Counter number 5. With number 5, it's going to be attack from 12 o'clock in our green zone. Opponent's got the knife in his right hand with the right leg lead forward. He steps in with the right low knife on line 1. As he comes in, we need to get off the line of the attack. Remembering that with a knife and the dexterity of our opponent's wrists and their ability to circle, we need distance. Distance becomes our friend. We're going to go to what's called a zone of sanctuary. We'll cover that in the CMP breakdown. So with that, as he comes in, I want to get off the line. Once again, I'm getting my left foot's going to be slightly forward. Pre-position number 2. As he comes in, I need to get off the line of the attack. If the line of the attack is right here, I'm going to leave my left hand stationary. As I step with my right foot towards 430, the majority of my body is now off the line of the attack with just one foot moving. I get off the line of the attack. My left hand is going to go from a ready position and going to drop at a downward outward parry, deviating and deflecting his line of attack. As I do so, in the base technique, I'm going to up clock as I snake my arm up and around, much like a pass-through. My knife hand is going to rest at his ulnar nerve, just above his elbow. Right hand's going to come up and to grasp and to put pressure. Now 3 points of contact. As I do so, I can then, from the side, shimmy to drag him along, and I want to drop him onto the floor. I'm going to go to a close kneel, put my knee either at his neck or at his scapula, his shoulder. As I drop down, I'm going to put his arm across my leg to control it, another 3 points of contact, and then to strip the knife. As I strip the knife, my targets are plenty. I can cut across the back of the tricep, and then I can strike at the base of the skull or the scapula. After I've disarmed my opponent, then I can follow through, cross, and cover out. Once again from the front. As he comes in, get off the line, downward, outward parry. Up clock as I grab, 3 points of contact. I'm going to step drag to bring him down. Arm across my body. Close kneel. Making sure I've pinned him to the ground. Strip the weapon, strike, and cross and cover out. With that, this has been OKO Knife Counter number 5. Stay tuned for concepts and principles. As we take a look at CMP and OKO Knife Counter number 5, first and most importantly, especially when being attacked by bladed weapons, is getting off the line of the attack. Get out of the way. And how do we do that? We go to what's called a zone of sanctuary. Let me grab this little chart here. In the dot in the center is our opponent. In this, supposed to be a circle, but it's more of an oval, is the danger zone for bladed or stick weapons. The gray areas are the safe zones at 45-degree angles away from our opponent. And if you go in a 45-degree angle away from your opponent, you gain more distance than going in a straight line. In other words, if I just went straight to either 9 or 3, I do not gain as much distance as I going to 130, 1030, 730, or 430. So we want to go in a diagonal away from our opponent, which also, interestingly, gives us a 45-degree path of attack towards our opponent. If I start here on line 1 and I step off of the line, getting out of the way of the attack by stepping with my right foot towards 430. This was line 1. I am now at a 45-degree angle towards the initial line of the attack. This is one of those moments, much like in sparring, when you go to a 45-degree angle from your opponent, especially from the moment they say go, if you are getting ready to spar and the center judge goes go, and you step off the line of the attack, what is your opponent going to do? They're sitting here ready to go, and they go, huh? It's like, please hit me in the face. Huh? Blonk. I could share a video with you guys of some of my students doing this. Same thing is true in self-defense. Attacks coming on line 1, I am going to off the line of the attack and then respond. Once again, with all weapons, using DDCD, deviate, deflect, control, and disarm. This is something that needs to be done in every single technique that deals with a knife, a club, or a gun. It's something that helps to ensure our safety in the flow of the technique. Once again, with all techniques, we're modifying our opponent's height, width, and depth, giving us time. And with most weapons, we want to use what's called a blit. A block and a hit, or block and a strike at the same time. In this particular case, we're going to block down and in with an outward-downward parry. And Chris would insert either palm heel or fist to the face to mess with the computer before then continuing the technique. We also have a pressure point along the ulnar nerve, and then much like it's previously done in using borrowed balance and borrowed force to make our knee more effective. There's been a lot of stuff in Knife Counter number 5, and as we move now to blue, green, and brown, we're going to see that list of lessons, concepts, and principles continuously growing while not forgetting the previous lessons, concepts, and principles. This has been OKO Knife Counter number 5. Aloha, mahalo, and live poro.